and welcome to the third podcast episode. Wait,
Oh, we're never gonna get better.
What's up, guys? Yeah, I know. Luckily, we have our lovely editor. Love you.
Naya.
Welcome back to the third episode of the SketchCast Podcast series. I'm Milky, and we got...
K.O, sorry. I checked OBS for 2 seconds, and it was the 2 seconds that you needed me.
It's all good. It's Milky and K.O.
We are back. Let's go. I mean, for you guys, it's going to be like the exact same timeline that we've been on, posting once every other week. But for us, it has been like ages.
It has. We're finally back. But man, so much has changed. Even though it doesn't even feel like it's been too long, but it's definitely been like a bigger gap in between this episode and the last episode than like before. But, so many things have changed, so we're going to do a quick little life update so
Yay.
we can get y'all up to date. So, K.O, what's been going on?
Oh, boy. Okay, so since the last episode, I hit something. It's fine. I have officially moved into my dorm. I am back in art school, and I am so happy about it. Oh, my gosh. And I took a very brief, break from social media just to check and make sure that I could stay in art school, because I won't lie, small hand update. It still hurts. That's not great. It's fine. It's not the worst ever. Yeah, it's not like the worst ever, but just the fact that it's hurting at all, I want to be able to do my classes and my classwork. So I was just kind of testing the waters and make sure I could stay in school and finish all my assignments. I ended up just kind of dropping most of my art classes, and I'm doing all gen eds right now. Oh, except for CG animation. God help me. Oh my god. I don't even... Oh.
Wait, you said you dropped something and are doing something else instead? What was it?
I dropped all my art classes except for one, which is CG animation. Don't know why I chose to keep that one, because that is at 8 a.m. in the morning, and every time I want to throw myself somewhere, anywhere but there.
Aw, does it suck that much?
I mean, dude, it's 8 a.m.
Yeah, fair enough. No one wants to do anything at 8 a.m.
And I'm just not a CG person. So that's been my big life update, as I am now officially in college, and I am now recording everything in a dorm, and there is a fan that I cannot turn off, so I'm really hoping it doesn't, pick up in the audio. Naya, I'm so sorry.
I don't hear it, it's not...
Okay, that's good. And Milky, I know you've got a massive update.
I got a couple.
Yeah.
So, first of all, Milky Tomato is moving out of the apartments.
Woo!
Gasp, applause. We're moving out of, because for those that don't know, I had my business in a downstairs apartment, and then I live right above it. And we outgrew it, so we're moving it into a warehouse.
Let's go.
So we're gonna have, it's gonna be it's like a whole fancy business building, but we're gonna make it actually cool and not too businessy, because.
Oh yeah.
And what's the point? We gotta make it fun.
Massive W for the Milkers. I've decided that's your fandom name.
I saw that message 5 minutes before we called. I didn't look at the context. I didn't see what you replied to at first, so all I saw was, yes,
oh my
for the
gosh.
Milkers. I was like, huh?
The Milkers. Oh my god.
That was so funny, though.
That's your fandom name now. You can't change it. You cannot change it.
That's my fandom name. That's my cult name, the Milkers. Oh gosh.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
That's the first big update. Second big update. K.O, we're twinsies.
Oh my god, yeah.
I mean, in a different font.
Aww.
I got arthritis.
No. Hand pain buddies.
Yeah, I got polyarthritis, so it's everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Oh god.
Except my hips. My hips and my jaw and parts of my back. Yeah, it's everywhere.
And that all stems from the hand?
Oh, no. So, it turns out chronic stress can cause arthritis.
Oh, Milky.
Yeah, I know. All my friends were like, wow, it's almost like you saw this coming. I'm like, yeah, I know, I'm sorry. But yeah, I literally was insane. I woke up one day, my wrists, my fingers, and my elbows and shoulders just like wiped out. And I was like, whoa, this is not good. And then the next day, it was worse. And then it was also in my knees.
Oh.
And then I woke up the next day, and it was in my toes, my ankles, my knees, and then my arms. Yeah, and then the next day, I woke up and I couldn't move my wrists or fingers.
Oh my God.
Awful. Like, at all, I could not move. It was awful. But I got medicine. Thank goodness for modern medicine. I don't know what I'd do without it. So now I can. Now I don't feel any pain at all right now.
I'm just that's so good.
Yeah. You know, I'm so glad. I'm just a bit jittery because of the medication, but like, I would
so
take
happy
that
for you
any
though.
day.
Please take care of yourself, and everyone listening, please listen to your body. Oh my God, if you are feeling pain, check it out. Make sure you are good.
Yes, which is a great transition into the topic of this podcast episode. I mean, because like it's about like art block and burnout, and that can be caused by stress and not taking care of yourself. I think it's somewhat of a transition.
So yeah, today's topic is art block and burnout. Probably should have mentioned that at the beginning of the podcast 5 minutes ago instead of now, but that's okay. Don't worry about it.
Probably.
So I have a couple professional definitions. Milky, do you want to give your definitions first?
Let me pull up my notes app real quick.
Dude, me too. I take notes for this podcast in Procreate. You guys hear that? We take notes for this podcast. We are professional.
We be studying just for you.
We be reading the books.
Real. So we got art block and then we got burnout. And in the simplest terms, I mean, obviously this is like the simplest of simple terms. I would say art block equals short term, burnout equals long term. Let me elaborate on that. For me personally, I've found that art block almost always tends to be short term. It usually tends to be like go from days to months instead of months to years, like burnout can. And art block is pretty much always not physically taxing, but rather it's just it's usually caused by anxiety or lack of motivation, just being like exhaustive and in your creative endeavors instead of being exhausted in like your physical endeavors, I would say. Basically, it's like losing your ability to produce stimulating original work instead of instead of being like losing your ability to just do anything. Because I found that art block is just burnout, but specifically for inspiration and art created stuff. And then burnout is usually linked to stress and being overworked. So it's like definitely. I said, look at me.
Milky, no.
I'm working on it. Don't worry.
We're getting there.
Pretty much. Yeah. Progress. It's pretty much always physically taxing and mentally taxing. I found that whenever I get burned out, I'm usually going through like different stuff with like my mental health. It's like sometimes I'm just like, we all get depressed sometimes. I usually get burnout when it's linked to depression. So but I've never had that with art block, if that makes sense. Because I mean, like, no, that does make sense. Not make sense. I'm not making sense.
You were good. You were all good. That's what nobody said this podcast was professional except us, so we can take that back.
Yeah, just to clarify, guys, this is the best art podcast ever.
Real. Number one podcast, don't look it up.
Yeah, but we also, don't know what we're doing. You didn't hear that from me.
They don't know that. Shh.
No. I'm sorry. Yeah, basically, art block is short term and, it's related to creative endeavors, and then burnout is long term, and it's related to, physical health and physical endeavors.
Yeah.
But they can definitely go hand in hand.
Yeah. That's definitely what I found on research. So I surprisingly haven't had a crazy amount of experience when it comes to burnout and art block. I definitely have, but I tend to get it once every millennium or so instead of a lot, which I know a lot of artists will end up with weekly art blocks or monthly or even yearly. So when I was researching both burnout and art block, they're definitely very, very similar. It almost seems like art block is just more specifically for art, thus the name. And then burnout is kind of just general feelings. It's feelings of like cynicism, detachment from your work, ineffectiveness, and lack of accomplishment. And it kind of just leads to like a permanent exhaustion from stress, which is not fun. And yeah, art block is kind of like a subsection of that, where it's like associated with a lack of motivation and often linked to like anxiety and stress and just a lot of stuff. Can be caused by anything from it can be caused from, like you said, stress, anxiety, stuff that's like not related to art at all. But it can also be caused from like fear of what you're creating, like not sure what you're doing, or like worried about like what people will think. It can be caused from overthinking, which we're going to get into that later when we talk about like solutions and whatnot. Overthinking is definitely a big part of it. And then also like boredom, boredom and imposter syndrome, period. Nothing else. Yeah, that's definitely a big part of art block. And so now let's talk about some personal experiences with that. Milky, do you want to go first? Time for the deep stuff.
All right. One big word for me. Inktober.
Oh, God. I was going to talk about that, too.
Yeah. I mean, like, I feel like we're definitely going to elaborate on that in a bit. But, like, Inktober, holy smokes. I don't think there's ever been a time that I haven't done a monthly drawing challenge, like a daily, like you have a prompt every day for a month, so you have to draw something every day. I always throw myself way too, like, headstrong into all of those. Like, I'm literally like, I'm going to do 2 prompts a day, and each prompt's going to get a page, and it's going to be fully colored.
Oh, my gosh.
And I'm like, I'm going to do this for a month. This is going to be easy. And then, like, farthest I got, though, was, like, 22 days. But, which was
That's still impressive. Insane. That is very impressive.
Oh, yeah. It was crazy. But I gave up on one of the lists, and I was like, what was I thinking? Doing 2 lists, filling out 2 pages a day? Insane. And then, like, even when I was getting to the end and I was starting to get tired, I didn't necessarily feel like I was, like, burnt out, or like I had art block or anything. But, like, as soon as I missed 2 days, I was wiped out for like a month and a half. I felt like I couldn't do anything. It just like wrecked my motivation, and it was so like abrupt. It startled me. And so yeah, screw Inktober. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Inktober is a really good activity and a very good just like monthly challenges is just like a good exercise.
Yeah.
For, making
just like
sure you draw
pace yourself, watch yourself, make sure you're not overdoing it.
Just don't overdo it, guys. Please. There's definitely also been times in the past, like in middle school, that's whenever I was like learning how to draw, and I was teaching myself how to draw and learning from my friends. There are definitely plenty of times I had, like, because, I was learning how to draw, I was learning what comes with wanting to draw, aka art block. Definitely had to, like, figure that out.
Get the whole package.
I got the whole package. But definitely, like, in the past, while I have experienced, like, short-term eras of art block, I never really felt like true burnout until like last year. That's whenever I was balancing a part-time job, my business, and making content every day. And then while I was somehow juggling all of that, I got COVID, and that absolutely wrecked me, because I was like, how on earth am I supposed to run a part-time job, my own business, myself, in my bedroom, and make videos every day, and also, make my weekly content for the weekend. Yeah. And now I'm sick. Like, I couldn't physically or mentally process anything, and then I was getting so mad at myself, which was so dumb, because, like, it was beyond my control. I physically couldn't do anything. But, that's definitely been, like, one of the most noticeable times that I've had burnout, because I was literally in every capacity wiped out. I could not do anything. And it was because I was overworking myself, and I was sick, and still overworking myself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like an idiot.
Oh God, yeah.
But that definitely has been like probably just the best definition in my personal life of being burnt out, because it just hits all the notes of what burnout is.
Yeah, that's a lot. For me, I've had a weird relationship with art block and burnout, because I definitely get it, but I think I get it a lot more short term. And I'm also in this weird situation where I can't draw all the time when I want to, because of both the surgery and like general pain and like just, you know, the injury. So like, like, I feel like whenever I can draw, I'm, like, almost itching to draw, and I'm like, ooh, I want to make this so bad, and I have, like, so many ideas built up in my head, but then I just can't do them. So it's weird. It's almost like I've got the opposite of, like, art block and burnout, but that is not to say I don't get it. I definitely do still get, especially art block. I think, yeah, like, art block for me usually comes if I, like, work myself, like, every single day for, like, a week. I feel like even with just regular work or, like, content creation work, I have to give myself at least one day a week where I'm just not thinking about it at all. Like, I don't get on social media. I don't, like, really look at any sort of, like, stats or numbers, which can be hard. I won't lie. Yeah. But, like, I try and, like, make sure I just, like, don't touch anything, like, give myself an entire day to relax, do whatever I want, so that I am recharged for the rest of the week, because otherwise I will go full burnt out, and if I keep, like, building that up, I know it'll get, like, really bad to the point where I won't be able to recover from that kind of burnout for, like, weeks.
Right.
But yeah, I was gonna, you mentioned Inktober. Oh my gosh, screw Inktober. You are so right.
Thank you.
It's so bad. I mean, I don't know how people, like, actually do it. I don't know if, like, people are okay after they do it. But, like,
I'm never okay after I do it.
Oh my gosh, yeah, like, there was, like, multiple years where I tried to get it done, and I just couldn't keep up. There was one year where I tried to do, like, 2 different prompt lists in a year. God knows why I tried to do that. Like, oh my gosh. And then, like, one of the years. Yeah, I think I mentioned this in the last episode, but there was one year where I made Inktober, like, my project for art class in high school. So I kind of, like, had someone holding me accountable, and I was going to get a grade for it, so I, like, had to do it. I did finish it, and that was the worst, like, burnout and art block I have ever gotten. Oh my gosh. It lasted, like, I think, like, 3-4 months. It was bad. Gosh. It was so bad. Just, like, it wasn't even, like, no motivation. It definitely was partially that, but it was mostly, like, I just had, like, no ideas for anything, and anytime I did sit down to draw, I was like, I just don't even like this. Also, someone pointed this out. I say draw like draw like cowboys drawing. I'm trying to, like, I say it with an L, and I didn't even realize. Yeah. Like, draw. That sounds normal to me.
Oh wow.
Draw.
I didn't even notice until you said something. Now that's all I'm gonna hear.
Oh my gosh. And then lovely editor Naya has started pointing out that every time I ask a question, or a lot of the times when I ask a question, I say it, like, almost British ? I only caught on to it once. I swear I don't do it that much, but they're like, there's a bit in episode 2 where you ask a question, where you ask Milky something, and it's, like, so British, and I'm like, what? So, anyway, that's a thing. Back on track. Yeah, like, 3-4 months of, like, pure burnout. Like, I didn't have motivation to do anything. I don't even remember, like, how I got out of it, because it was so long ago.
Right.
But that was definitely, like, the worst I ever got tonight. I think just, like, having someone hold me accountable for it is, like, great in certain things, especially if, you know, you're, like, a character designer and, like, you have to do something for a job. Like, obviously, you know, you need to be held accountable, but, like, I think forcing myself to be creative every single day and, like, try to push that every single day instead of, like, taking things at my own pace and then, like, also attaching a grade to it, like, stressed me out even more. Also didn't help that I had, like, a weirdly conservative school, and, like, some of the art I tried to give them that wasn't that bad, it, like, literally was nothing. They were like, I don't know about that one, and they would, like, ban me from, like, putting it up, and I was like, hello?
Shoulders showing.
Yeah, like, basically, I drew, you know the Human Torch from Fantastic Four?
No.
Okay, well... He's a superhero that's just, like, essentially a dude made out of fire. And I drew him for one of the prompts, because I don't remember what the prompt was, but I drew him for one of the prompts, and my school was like, this is demonic. And I was like, what?
You're like, bro,
so weird.
It's just fire.
I remember there was, like, one or two other ones. Like, there was one with a broken heart on it or something. Not, like, a human heart. Like, the heart, the shape... that was, like, cracked, and they were like, this is too sad and depressing. You can't show this. I was like, hello?
So we just, like, don't make emotions? Like, what is this?
I guess not.
So weird.
Welcome to private Christian school. You're not allowed to be sad. But yeah, anyway, school was really weird about, like, what I could or couldn't show, even though it was, like, the most tame stuff ever.
Right.
But, yeah, that... Inktober, man, threw me into such an art block. And then outside of that, I talked about this like literally 2 minutes ago. I really only get like 1 day to 2 day at most like art blocks or burnout, and I think that's just from a combination of, you know, like a lot of different things, like outside of artwork stress type stuff, like especially if I've got like finals coming up or I'm like moving or there's a trip or like my mind is just elsewhere. All this stuff. But I've found a couple ways around it. So we can finally get into how to overcome art block and burnout.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Okay. Do you want to go first or should I go first?
I can go first. I have a few points.
Yes. Tag team. Let's go.
Yeah. Let's go. Let's go. So I definitely... this is one of the questions I get the most on just videos and live streams. What I pretty much say every time, because this genuinely does work for me, is you either need to like absorb some new inspiration, throw yourself into something completely new, but like still like a creative endeavor, or you need to take a break. It really depends on the person and where they are in their art journey. So for like absorbing new inspiration, sometimes for me, it's just like, okay, I'm going to find a new comic series or webtoon or book or TV show, and I'm going to absorb as much of it as possible and see how I can take elements of it and have it inspire my work. Because, you know, when you have art block, you're lacking inspiration. You need some kind of juice. You need some juice in your inspiration tank. Sometimes just having like a new piece of media, that's all you need. Sometimes you just need like just the littlest amount of something to kickstart you, and then you're good until the next art block. But and then number 2, sometimes you just gotta try something new with your artistic endeavors. So like for me, when I was going through a really hard art block, I signed up for a printmaking class.
Yo.
I had never done printmaking before, but I did know that it was art related and that it would it would force me to try new things and get me out of my comfort zone. It would still like work that creative side of my brain, and that can apply to so many different things. Sometimes it's just different forms of hands-on art. Sometimes you need to just try printmaking or ceramics or other types of 3D art. Sometimes you just need to like practice something that you know you need to practice, and then apply it to your art. Because for me, if I'm going through burnout, most of the time I'm like, I really need to practice anatomy again. I really need to like...
I feel that.
Actually, like, I need to like learn some really important skills that I know will really help my art. And though I don't want to do right now, sometimes, for me, sometimes it's just like, okay, I'm just going to just do it. And then I'll see how I can apply it to my art. And then I can see what kind of inspiration comes from that. And then sometimes you just need to take a break because you're overworking yourself and you're stressed out.
Real.
And it, like sometimes just like absorbing new content and trying to make it a new part of your art style or like something you're creating, that's just like, maybe that doesn't appeal to everyone. It's not going to work for everyone. Trying something new, sometimes that's the absolute last thing you want to do when you have burnout and art block. So sometimes you just genuinely need to take a break and let inspiration naturally come to you instead of trying to force it into your brain. But those are my main 3 things that I always say when people ask, so.
Yeah, that's fantastic. A lot of my stuff is pretty similar too. First thing I was gonna say is like rewatch or like reread stuff that like really, really inspires you. Which is basically what you just said. For me, those 2 things are Spider-Verse, because oh my gosh, anytime I watch that movie, either of the movies, I want to do like so much concept work and it makes me want to work so hard. And then also, dude, I want to do a whole episode on this series. Blue Period, the manga. Oh my gosh. Yeah! Yes! Oh my gosh. It's so
Just
so
watch
good.
the anime.
Yes. I don't know. I've heard mixed things about the anime, but I trust you if you think it's good.
It's really cute. I haven't read the manga though, so maybe you'd be like, well, this is cute, but like the manga's way better. I need to collect the manga because I've heard it's just amazing. And I really enjoyed the show because it felt so real and genuine.
Yeah, dude, you can tell that like the author behind it has like gone through the experience of being an artist. Like it is so fantastically written, and like anytime I read it, I'm just like, man, I want to draw so bad. Like this series is so good that I straight up bought a second copy of the first book that I can just like lend out to friends.
That's so smart. Oh my gosh.
It is my favorite series ever. But yeah, those are like my 2 big inspiration things. And also, just curious, Milky, what is like your favorite like big inspo if you want to like get inspired?
Oh my gosh.
Just really quick, off the top of your head. Let's go. Okay. Off the top of the clown brain.
Avatar: The Last Airbender, Spider-Verse.
Yes.
Arcane.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. And Steven Universe.
Yes. Okay.
Just to spit out a couple.
Hell yeah. Okay, yeah, those are all great shows. Yes. Okay.
Absolutely.
Yes, stuff that inspires you. Also for getting out of art block. I mean, this kind of goes back to stuff that inspires you, but sometimes I'll just do like fan art, like you don't have to think about it too hard. You just kind of like, or like, actually what I'll do is I'll like make fan art hold on, let me phrase this better. I'll do fan art, but I'll like mix it with learning something, I guess. If I know I need to practice anatomy or like figure drawing, like recently I did a page in my sketchbook with Ichigo from Tokyo Mew Mew, but they were all just like figure drawing poses. Like I went on Pinterest and looked up I think I used mostly like Japanese idol like photography for the poses because they're very like frilly dresses and whatnot. And I just did a bunch of figure drawing, but I made it Ichigo. And that really helped.
Smart. That's so smart, and it makes it so like fun and indulgent.
Yeah, it's really nice because it also like, I don't know, something about like nostalgia characters like just really gets you back into like, I don't know, maybe it's because it's like where you started almost, if that makes sense.
No, for sure. It's your roots. Yeah. It's going back to your like core inspirations, your beginnings.
Yeah. I'm glad you could put that into words because I definitely couldn't. Also, change of scenery helps me so much. Oh my gosh. Like that
I
year.
should really do that.
Yeah, Milky, go touch grass.
I know. But all the grass is dead here. Texas is in a drought. There's no real grass.
Oh, Milky dachshund herself? Wild. Anyway.
Everyone knows I'm a clown cowboy.
The best aesthetic. Change of scenery helps me a lot. Like, at least on campus, I tend to try and not do my work in the dorm because I know I'll get, like, burnt out super quick. And then that year that I had to take a medical leave and I was home the entire year, like, no school, anytime I could, I would just go to a coffee shop. And also, trick if you don't want to spend any money, because sometimes I wouldn't like have the money to buy like $9 coffee every other day. Right. You just like go in and be like act like you're about to order something and then be like, oh, can I actually just get a water for now? And then you go sit down, drink your water, and then leave later.
Dang.
I still tip, don't worry. But sometimes I'm like, I simply can't.
Water?
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, if there's like a little tip jar in the front, like I've always got cash on me.
Okay, yeah.
But, you know, that's like only a couple dollars rather than like essentially $10 like every other day. Like, dude, why is coffee so expensive?
Fair enough.
There is one coffee shop near where I live that I actually used to work at. So I get discounts there. So sometimes I would go there, but again, change of scenery. Sometimes I need to like just go somewhere else. And also like the drive on the way sometimes helps me for some reason. I don't know, just like change of scenery really, really helps.
Yeah.
Another piece of advice. This one's for you, Milky. Touch grass. Go.
Yeah,
leave the building. Leave.
Oh my gosh, I feel so attacked right now.
Yeah, take a break. Take care of yourself.
Well, I am. I'm actually so glad that you brought up the whole change of scenery thing because like, I don't know, like sometimes thoughts like that are in the back of your head. It's like, maybe I should get out of the apartment. But then like hear other people be like, I've done this and it really helped me. And I'm like, you know what, I should actually, actually do that. So, because like I do everything in my apartment. I do pretty much everything in my living room, on my couch, or in my filming room. I really need to like, I literally bought chairs on my patio so I could like get out and do something outside on my patio. Yeah. But we in Texas, it's freaking hot and humid and there's bugs everywhere. So like, that ain't gonna work. But yeah, I definitely I have like a library nearby. Like I could go there and draw, or I could go to my house and draw, go to my friend's house and draw. But so yeah, I definitely need to apply that whole change of scenery thing because I think that would really help me a lot. Yeah. Coffee shops, bookstores, libraries, anything like that. And also like just bring a friend along or something. Like that also helps me because then I get that social energy as well. At least for me, I'm very extroverted. So if I go like 24 hours without seeing another human, I will explode. But yeah, like even like especially my home friends, at least none of them are art people, but they always had like something to work on. So I'd just like text them and be like, hey, I'm about to go to a coffee shop. Do you want to join me if you have anything to work on? And then I'd have people with me, and that like also helps me stay on track to an extent. So yeah, no, for sure. It's like, it's kind of like being held accountable, like in a way. Yeah, and sometimes I drag my brother along with me too. Yeah. Because I sometimes have a habit of just, I get on my phone to do one thing and then I'm stuck on my phone. But if I have a friend there to be like, get off your phone. Yeah. In a kind, loving way. Get back to work. And it's also nice because then you can like take breaks in between and like, talk to your friend. Oh, for sure. So those were my big things. Oh, another thing. This is just for like taking a break, I guess. Or actually not even that. This is for art block specifically. Have a like completely stress-free zone for yourself. Like for me, that's my sketchbook at least. Like I will make sure I'm not on social media or anything, and like my sketchbook, I don't tend to record whatever's on there. So at least I know this is more of like a art content creator problem, but like a lot of the times you feel like it feels like, oh, you gotta record, like if you're about to draw something, like might as well record it. It might as well be content. But I don't know. I think that like can like burn you out quicker if you attach everything to 100%. Even if it's not your job, because like content creation isn't my job. But like if I make all my artwork content related, I don't know. It doesn't take all the fun out of it because I genuinely enjoy content creation. Like, I love doing it. But I think when I make every single thing I do about content creation, that's when it starts to get, like, it almost gives me, like, a toxic relationship with my art. And, that's not good. 100%. Yeah. No, I totally get that. Yeah, so having a stress-free zone, like, something where you're like, okay, I'm going to draw for myself only, like, just for fun, no strings attached, no anything. Even if it's, like,
oh, I'm not going to like try to improve. I'm not going to try and learn something new with this one. I'm just going to draw whatever I want. I think warm-up drawings also help with that, because that's kind of what that is for me.
I'm so glad you said that.
Yes. Don't make all your work about content creation, please, guys.
Yeah. Like today I was on my live stream, and anyone that was at today's live stream can account. I was like, I opened my iPad and I was like, I don't know what to do. And I was like, okay guys, send me some requests. And they were sending requests and my brain was like, don't do it. I was like, whoa. What do you mean don't do it? Like, my brain just was like, this isn't working. Nothing's working. And so I literally was like, hey guys, I know I said I was going to work on stickers. I'm just going to do some fun, like, random little warm-up sketches. And so I literally drew like my friends' characters, and I drew my characters that I haven't drawn in forever.
Yeah.
It was so refreshing.
Yeah.
And like, not only like reset my brain to like want to do like other kinds of art, but it just, you know, it relit a flame of like, oh, I love these characters and they make me so happy.
Yeah.
And now I know I can like go back to those characters next time I need like a little spark to get going.
Yeah.
And like what you were saying, where you need like a little safe haven for like your inspiration and your art and stuff. I have a little sketchbook like that I haven't shown to anybody.
Ooh.
I have a little secret sketchbook.
Ooh, secret sketchbook.
It's my SSS, my secret stress-free sketchbook. And it's just this little green sketchbook. And when I first got it, I opened it, and the first page I wrote basically like a pledge of, I am not allowed to show this to anyone, and I am not allowed to be stressed out when I open this book, and I am not allowed to, like, stop drawing anything in this. Like, I'm allowed to make messy, scratchy content in this just for me and for my sake. And so no one has ever seen it, and sometimes I doodle something in there mindlessly, and then I'm like, oh, I like this. And then I, like, redraw it somewhere else. But, like, I don't ever take it out. I don't ever, like...
That's great.
I don't ever directly show that sketchbook, because it's like, that's my safe haven.
Oh, that's perfect. Yeah.
It keeps you anchored in a way, you know? Yeah.
Hell yeah. Yeah, that's basically my sketchbook for me. I tend to... I know a lot of people have, like, really pretty nice sketchbooks, and I definitely do some stuff in my sketchbooks where I'm like, ooh, I really, really like this, but I tend to do, like, all my nice work digitally, and that kind of... I don't know, something about traditional versus digital, like, it separates it for me, which is nice.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
And that leads me to the actual research I did. Wow, like, all that other stuff, that was stuff that, like, we know from our own personal experience.
Yeah.
But I wanted to, like, I don't know, look up what the professionals say, because we're not...
Whoa. This is the most professional art podcast.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. You're right.
Can't know. They can't
know. I'm sorry.
Right, listeners, bust out your notebooks and start taking notes. We got Professor K.O. on scene.
But yeah, honestly, when I was doing research, like, we had it pretty much down. Like, a lot of what I was seeing was a lot of what we've figured out on our own. And I guess for us, it was just trial and error when we could have looked it up from the start. But hey, that's fine.
We're here. We're already here. It's too late.
Yeah. One of the first things and one of the biggest things I saw was finding inspo from other artists, which, I mean, that's basically going back to, like, finding stuff that inspires you. But also, one thing to keep in mind with looking for inspo in other artists, don't compare yourself to other artists, because that is toxic, and that will, like, throw you into burnout and art block so quick if you, like, constantly just compare yourself to other artists, because you're never going to be like those artists, and that's okay. You're your own artist, and you're really cool like that. But yeah, finding inspo from other artists without comparing yourself to those artists is really good. That will definitely help you get out of art block. This is all about, like, overcoming art block once you've already got it, rather than avoiding it. So yeah, finding that inspo from other artists without comparing yourself, or, like, seeing what you like about those artists and then learning from that. Another one, Milky, you talked about this earlier, was changing your medium. Like, that is such a good idea.
Yeah.
Milky already had the professional stuff down. Let's go.
I'm already, man, what can I say? I'm already just I'm just that good.
You're just that guy.
No,
You're just that guy.
I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy.
Yeah, but they were talking about changing medium, and I think that's definitely a good one, because at least, again, going back to digital versus traditional, I don't do a lot of mediums outside of just, like, pen and paper and digital, but changing from digital to traditional helps me a lot. And I tend to actually, like, do a lot of my sketch work, even for school assignments, traditionally, because I just get things out faster like that.
Yeah.
And also it just, I don't know, like, traditional work is just, like, refreshing. I don't know what it is. I think maybe it's more of a me problem where I've attached digital work to my more professional work, and so I just automatically think, oh, I'm doing something digitally, it's got to be professional, when it really doesn't have to. I don't know, I just have a harder time doing, like, sketches on digital canvases.
Yeah, I totally get that. I feel like, for me personally, I don't know if it's the same for you. Whenever I have me personally,
Sorry.
I have the same. I have the same thing where it's like traditional art. It's almost like you're going back to being a kid. It's like, crayons and paper. It's like, it's basic. It's simple if you want it to be. And then digital art, it's like, wow, I got this fancy iPad, or I got this fancy computer.
It's almost like there's too much you can do with it.
Exactly. There's too much. Like, traditional art can be just so simple, and it's like sometimes you just can't overthink it. And with digital art, it's like there's too many options.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen that thing where, I've seen some artists make TikToks about it, where they, like, have a sketchbook where they're only allowed to use, like, one type of color or, like, one certain pen. It's because when you limit your options as an artist, it can actually, like, make your output be, like...
It, like, makes you think outside of the box.
Exactly, yeah. Because it's less options, less overthinking, so you just genuinely unfiltered, like, make unfiltered art.
Yeah.
Where you just, like, pump it out.
Yeah, and going back to what I saw about, like, what causes art block and burnout, overthinking was one of the big ones. So.
Yep.
Let's go. Yep. Yeah, I've done, like, pages in my sketchbook where I'm like, okay, I'm just using green or I'm just using blue.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's definitely a huge... Hello? A huge period? Is that it? My brain just, like, short-circuited.
Me when I'm huge, yeah.
Anyway, yeah, other things for overcoming art block, reset and refresh, that's another big one. I mean, I talked about that briefly, where I give myself, like, a day per week to just kind of, like, reset and not think about things. That's usually the weekend for me, because, I don't know, like, posting times on social media are just better during the weekdays, so I tend to, like, not do anything over the weekend. But yeah, make sure you're taking breaks for yourself. That's very, very important, both mentally and physically. Obviously, like, do not overwork yourself. Terrible idea. I'm speaking from experience. But also, yeah, mentally, even if you are doing, like, physically great, you want to make sure you're, like, taking a breath of fresh air and, like, making sure you're eating healthy and not, like, take care of yourself.
Yeah.
It's very, very important. And then last
agree
thing,
more.
Oh, sorry. What was that?
I said, not agree more.
Yeah. And then last thing, this is actually something I have not tried myself, but it was recommended when I was researching this, was to revisit old work. Like, go back to old pieces that you either didn't finish, or maybe you did finish and you've just improved a lot now, and, like, either rework them from the ground up, or, like, maybe if it's an old sketch, you, like, finish out the line work and coloring, or, I don't know, just, like, trying to, like, just revisiting old work. That can be something that really helps you get out of that kind of art block, because then you've already got the ground pieces there, and you just build off of that. Yeah. And you don't have to, like...
It makes so much sense.
Yeah, you don't have to, like, think as much. I haven't tried this myself. This was just something that was recommended, but, like... That seems like a really good idea, and I'm definitely going to try it out next time I get, like, a sort of art block or burnout.
Definitely going to have to use that after this podcast episode.
Milky!
It's okay. I'm just a bit eepy.
Just a little eepy. Chronic eepy disorder. My boyfriend says...
Chronic eepy disorder?
My boyfriend says I have chronic eepy disorder. I'm never not sleepy. It's so bad.
Wait, I want to make that onto a button. Chronic EP disorder.
Chronic EP disorder. EP.
Anyway, off topic.
Yeah, I mean, that about wraps it up for everything I've got as far as, like, overcoming. Over what? Sorry.
Never back down, never what?
Never back down, never what? Never give up.
Oh my gosh.
He sounds so sad every time.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay, so that about wraps up, like, everything we've got as far as, like, overcoming it, and just circling back around real quick. If you think you're starting burnout, or, like, if you're starting to get there, look out for feelings... Hello, can I speak?
Yeah.
Look out for feelings of, like, cynicism of your work, like, detachment from your work, ineffectiveness, or feeling like you've got, like, lack of accomplishment. Any of these things are going to end up leading, or, like, could lead, not necessarily will, but, like, could lead to burnout. So, I don't know, just, like, watching out for that, making sure you take care of yourself, like, all those good things. Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Hell yeah. So, one last thing for our silly little podcast is our silly little question at the end of the day. Milky,
Yes.
are you ready?
Yes, I'm so ready.
This is going to be the most deep and philosophical question you've probably gotten in a long time. I don't want to stress you out, but this is, like, a really, really deep question. So, like, if you want to say stuff, like, off the record that we want to, like, cut out of the podcast, totally can, because this is a lot.
Gosh, I'm ready.
What kind of animal do you think you are?
Easy! I am a bear!
A bear? Explain.
I'm a bear. I love hugs. I give the best hugs. When we meet up, bro.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I'm so glad you're a hugger. I'm a hugger too.
Really?
Yeah! Oh my god, the girls are girling.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh.
I live off of hugs. So first of all, bear hugs. Bears also tend to have a pretty strong maternal instinct. I feel like I have a strong maternal instinct towards, like, just, like, my friends, and especially because, like, my past job was daycare.
Aww.
Yeah, I'm the mom friend. Just, like, my past job was daycare, so, like, I had to watch over kids all the time. And so, like, I definitely learned more about that side of myself. It's like, wow, I really, I have just kind of, like, that, like, motherly nature towards, like, everyone. And that's kind of like bears. Also, bears are just the coolest, and who doesn't want to be cool? Yes. I know I want to be cool. But you, K.O., what animal are you?
Before I talk about that, you want to know something really funny? I
would love to
have, like, a weird fear of bears.
What? No!
Like,
gosh, dang it!
Like, they're freaking huge, and, like, they will tear you apart.
Yeah.
Like, they're scary.
They're so cute. Have you seen Brother Bear?
Like, this is to a point where I get an unusual amount of nightmares about, like, bear attacks.
What?
I wish I was joking. No. I wish I was joking. I keep a dream log and also a nightmare log separate, and, like, I looking through it, like, there is an unusual consistency of bear attack nightmares.
Oh my gosh.
It's terrible.
The fact that, like, every time I've drawn myself with any kind of association with an animal, it's always a bear. Like, when I made my Hero Sona, like, way back when, I would, like, bear was, like, my quirk. I'd have, like, these giant bear claws, and, it'd be sick. And then, like, I have teddy bears all over my couch. Like, I have so many Rilakkuma things, because I just love bears.
Oh, okay, Rilakuma's really cute.
It is, isn't it? And then I also have, like, you know, like, some little bear stickers. I have my clown bears, and I have my tomato bear. I love bears! You're scared of bears? No.
I'm really scared of bears.
I don't blame you, but, like, I just love them too much.
I'm scared of real bears. Like mascot bears.
Yeah, fair enough.
Like cartoon bears. Like We Bare Bears. Cute. Love them. Yeah. Real bears? I think I think they've been around long enough. I think we can get rid of them.
I mean, like, to be honest, since you have, like, a fear of bears, you're less likely to die than in comparison to me, because if we were going up to a bear, you'd be the smart person who actually, like, you know, not confront the bear, and I'd be like, oh, little baby. Let me give you a hug. And then I die.
And then you die.
But you wouldn't.
Podcast ends. Oh, okay. So here's another important question. If one of us died, would it be would it be K.O.'s podcast host dies or like SketchCast host dies, or would it be like Milky dies, Milky Tomato dies?
Gosh.
Like what would the headline be?
This is assuming that I died, right?
And I killed you, yeah.
Oh, what?
Would it be would it oh my god, wait, would it be like Bear attacks art influencer or Milky Tomato dies?
Bears hate stickers. AKA
Bears.
We'll just read the headline. They're like, oh my gosh, Milky,
anyway,
no.
This is a stupid question, and we're overtime.
That's funny. Wait, but what's your animal?
We are not overtime. What is my animal? I didn't think this through.
It's your own question. You gotta know.
What do you think I am? This is a dangerous question.
You are a sable.
A sable? What's a sable?
Let me make sure I said that right. Let me pull up my phone. I see you as like those cute little red-brown ferret thingies.
Aww.
Second.
Wait.
Yeah, look up. Sable. They're like little squirrel bear ferrets.
Sable bear ferret. See if that pops it up. Oh, it did. Oh my god. They're so cute.
Aren't they? And they have like big bear paws.
Oh my gosh. I will take that. I am a sable.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Creature. Yes. It's so cute.
Now you learned about a new animal today.
Yeah.
And you learned that animal is you.
The animals I've gotten from other people, I have a list of just like in my notes app of just characters I've been compared to and like animals I've been compared to. I know it's here somewhere. Hold on.
I don't know what I've been compared to. Just people have said I'm like a cat, and I'm like, that's stupid.
Cat's like the basic answer.
I know. That's why I was like, first of all, that makes no sense, and second, that's so.
I've been compared to an otter, a golden retriever, and a parakeet.
Why a parakeet?
I don't. Bird brain.
Oh.
That's all I got for you.
Parakeet.
Bird brain.
Well, you know what? Parakeets are beautiful.
I do dress very colorfully. Like primary colors are my go-to.
We have so much in common.
Oh my god, we should start a podcast together.
Should start a podcast and make it all primary colors.
Dude, let's call it Drawing Podcast.
Love it.
Anyway,
right, click record.
Should we sign off?
Yeah, probably.
All right, you want to sign us off or should I? I signed us off.
Yeah.
I've signed us off the last 2 times. You signed us off.
Oh shoot! New occurrence. Milky is signing us off. All right. Thank you guys so much for listening to this podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed all of our content about art block and burnout and all that fun stuff. Yeah. And if you're listening to this on YouTube, feel free to comment stuff you'd like to see from us in the future for future podcast episodes.
Yes.
And also what your tips are for getting over art block and burnout. And what's helped you the most?
Hell yeah. Yeah, I've been going through all the YouTube comments and I reply to them. I see you guys. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. You can find me at Here Comes K.O. on all platforms. And Milky?
You can find me at milky.tomato on all platforms, and you can also find my website at milkytomato.com.
You can also find her in a warehouse if you happen to stumble across it. Please don't try and find either of us. No.
You can also find me in some weird big garage somewhere in the state of Texas.
And you can find me under a damp bridge. All right. See you guys later. Bye.
Bye, guys.